Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, it is January 10th, kind of a cold winter's day. I don't know, it's actually warm for a winter's day. It's in the mid 40s, partly cloudy, but the sun is out right now. So hey, you got to take the opportunity to fly a drone, right? The ground is real wet. I'll kind of stand back so you can see it here a little bit. Because we've had a lot of rain the last couple days, but it could be worse. It could have been snow, right? But drones, that's what we're here for. The other night on Drone Nation, we were talking about some Hubsan drones, and it brought the original Hubsan Zino to mind. Let me see if I can hold it up here so you can see it. So this is the original Zino. This is a drone that I bought back in 2018 on a, they believe it or not, at that time Hubsan did crowdfunding to get this drone going. I paid $299 for it. This is the original one I bought back in 2018, so it's a little over 5 years old. I think I got it in December of 2018. It's a little over 5 years old. I looked back at the last time I flew it. It's been over 2 years since I've flown this drone. Plugged everything in, all the batteries charged up, the remote charged up just fine. So hey, let's take this guy out. Let's do some old school drone flying and see if it'll fly. One of the significance of this particular drone, so if you think about it, back in 2018, the Mavic Pro was kind of the preeminent drone, and it was like a $1,200 drone, right? Or $1,000, $1,200, something like that. Well, this guy at $299, it was the first GPS drone with a 3-axis gimbal on it that would shoot in 4K 30 frames per second. Now, if you look at the bottom of it here, there are no sensors. All it has is a barometer and GPS to tell it where it's at in space. And so, you know, we had the old Hubsan drop and everything that we always talked about when we flew the drone. This particular drone has got about a gajillion miles on it. I have flown the heck out of this guy. And as I said, it's been a couple years. We're going to take it up today. I'm at Heroes Park. This is the exact spot where I did my original first flight with it. Let's take it up and let's fly it around and let's kind of revisit this guy and let you guys take a look at what still I think holds up as some pretty good video. Okay, let's get it fired up. Let's see if I can remember the procedure that it takes to get this guy in the air. There are some differences from the drones that we're used to. Okay, I've got the drone fired up. I'm going to fire up the controller here. I was pushing the wrong button on the controller. Okay, we're connected to the drone, so I'm going to plug it into my phone now. And then we're going to go find the X Hubsan app, not the X Hubsan 2, but just the X Hubsan app. So firing that up right now. Yeah, it's going to want me to sign in here. Give me a second. Hey, okay, it took my login. What do you know? And we've got the Zino up on the main page. So let's enter device. And notices for flight safety. I got it. Enter device. Enter main interface. And let's see what we got. USB cable is not connected. Now, I was afraid of that. I forgot to bring an aftermarket cable with me, and this is the original cable. Device status list, it says connected. Okay. So, yeah, maybe we need to hit trust here. Let's hit trust. Aircraft connected. It's not even asking for a compass calibration. Okay, so let's go back to the main page. Hey, look at that. We are connected. It says ready to fly. So whatever that issue was temporary. This is the original cable that came with the drone, and I remember I replaced it with an aftermarket cable because I would occasionally have issues, but seems to be working now, so we're good to go. And the FPV feed looks pretty good. So let's go into the menu here and look around a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't see, you know, we already looked it's not asking for a compass calibration, so let's just try it without it. If we see some anomalies, I'll land it and we'll do a calibration. You have to bind the aircraft GPS-wise, so that should happen when I start recording. So I clicked into video mode here, and let's look at our video settings, maybe. Video settings, we're in 4K, frame rate 30 frames per second. White balance, cloudy day, I don't know. I'm going to change that. Well, a cloud just came over, but I'm going to change it to sunny day. And we'll see how that looks. I know, as I recall, the color always was a little bit odd on this. And let me look at color. Yeah, let's leave it on ordinary. I don't know. We'll leave it on ordinary. I can't remember where I used to have it set. Let's click on settings there. All of that stuff is in automatic. I'm going to turn grid lines on. Let's format the SD card just for the fun of it. Checking the speed. Do not pull the SD card out. And we did get a successful reformat there. Let's see what it says about speed here. I might regret pushing that button. But it says we're ready to fly. We've got 12 sats, 100% on the battery. Speed card check passed, so we're good to go there. Okay, I'm going to start recording on the ground here. And this is what I remembered, bind to current device. So you have to get the GPS on the drone to agree with the GPS on your phone, so you have to bring them close together. So I'm going to click OK. And it says request succeeded, so we click OK again. You know, those are things that I remember from the drone from back in the day. So now we should be able to start recording. And we did, so we're recording in 4K 30 frames per second. Now, to manual takeoff on Hubsan drone, you push both sticks out and down, but we're going to do an automated takeoff. I'm going to click it on the app here. Ready to take off. And look at that. There she is. And look at that, not even really much, there's really a little bit of a Hubsan drop there. But boy, that's a sound that I remember on this drone from way back, so sounds very familiar. Let's bring it around here and bring it in. Like I said, there are no sensors on this, and you can see it's moving around a little bit as we yaw the drone, which I remember was typical. We're kind of looking into the sun here, so that's why the video quality is going to be a little bit not as good as it could be, but let's, you know, the winter sun is pretty low in the sky. We'll bring it in pretty close here, give you a look at the drone. You know, this is so familiar, and it's cool being this close to the drone. You can see that gimbal is still working. As I recall, a lot of people had problems with the ribbon on the gimbal of these drones. I have never, this is the original gimbal and ribbon. I never had those kind of problems. So this is basically, really, I just have never had those kind of problems with this drone. Okay, let's see, battery drains too quickly. So that is, I don't know what that's about, but we are going to ignore that. I remember they put some software in because they had some problems with their batteries. But this is the only battery we got, so we're just going to ignore that. Let's go ahead and do a droney here. I'm going to drop that camera down a little bit and reverse and up now, reverse and up. And there she goes. You know, the controls, this controller is not, you know, the most, I'm going to say the most stable controller. Yeah, there, you know, I was trying to grab, trying to adjust to the rule of thirds there, and I kind of missed a little bit. But at any rate, let's turn it around and let's get it so it's, give this camera a better shot here. And what you're going to notice on the yaw there, that looks a lot better now, doesn't it? Let's go out this way, out to the corner of the park. Top speed, as I recall, is about 8 meters per second. And we're almost there. 7.9, 7.8, 7.9. Yeah, there's 8 meters per second. So very briefly, we hit the top speed. And I forgot to get UAV forecast. Hopefully I put it at the front of the video here. I'll get that, I'll check UAV forecast here in a second. But anyway, you know, the other thing that I remember is the feed on the FPV feed is fairly low res. So what you see on the FPV feed doesn't look like much, but and I guess what I wanted to mention is, you look when I'm yawing here, and this is when you can tell that this camera has a fairly low bit rate. As I recall, it's about a 45 or 40 megabit bit rate on it, and so that's why you see kind of some of the graininess when you're doing a movement like that. Now when the drone is just moving straight ahead, it looks pretty good. But as soon as you start making some of those yaw moves, turns, etc., that's when you'll see that, or looking up or down with the camera. Now, those of you that remember the videos I used to make with this drone, and I'm going straight up here, let's see, the aircraft will automatically return. Oh yeah, look at that. Let's see, return immediately. Look at that battery, down to 4%. Holy cow. Let's bring this guy way down here. Yeah, we got a problem. In fact, I'm going to cancel that return to home, and let's bring this guy down in a hurry. Yeah, we got a problem. I would hate to lose this drone over something like that. So I'm bringing her down close to the ground, and we're going to bring it in. Abnormal battery replaced soon. Avoid trying to crash. Yeah, that's weird. Look at that, 4%. It immediately, and I've got the drone right in front of us here. So I am not going to do, I question if that's right. I'm telling you, we're going to keep it low to the ground here. And even if it falls to the ground, it's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, that's really odd. I'm not sure I believe that battery percentage. We charged this thing up. It took a charge, and this is not, I think this is my, I have 3 batteries for it. This is not the original battery. I think this is the second battery that I bought. I have actually a newer battery. But what they say happens with the battery on this drone, and look at there, you know, it's holding at 4%. So I suspect it's something in the algorithm here. I'm going to go out into the field here, and we're going to try some things with it, and we're going to keep it low enough that even if it has a problem, we're going to be okay. So let me back it up here, and let's head out into the field. You know, again, you know, I haven't flown this drone for 2 years, backing it up, and we're seeing that battery percentage stay the same. So I really feel like whatever's going on has to do with the algorithm in the app rather than a real problem with the battery. So kind of a strange deal, because look at that. I mean, it got down to that point and it stayed right there. So okay, one of the things that I want to show you with this guy is it will do some pretty cool automated features. Let's try. We're going to try tracking. This just cracks me up. This guy will do active track. Mind you, this is a 5-year-old drone, and this is, yeah, function is forbidden because the battery is too low. Yeah, it's not going to let us do that. Ah, doggone it. I might have to buy another battery for this guy. Let's try orbit. Yeah, it's not going to let us do it. So, looks like I'm not going to be able to demonstrate any of that stuff. I'm going to fly it around here a little bit. And like I said, we're going to keep it pretty low. Like I said, I don't really think we have a big problem with this battery. I mean, I think I really do believe it's, you know, it may be just the way it knows that the battery is a certain age, but we got a helicopter behind us here. And I'm looking right into the sun trying to get eyes on him, but we are so low to the ground it's not an issue. So anyway, let's just fly it around a little, right over the top of me. Drone, you know, the drone's handling great. And it's just staying right at that 4%. So that tells me that whatever is going on, you know, as fast as it dropped. Okay, let's do full speed this direction. And there's that 8 meters per second. Let's turn it around and see if we're coming back against the wind. Bring it back to us here. There I am right there. And let's go full tilt here, and let's see how fast we go this direction. And it's coming right back to me. About the same. Yeah, there's 8 meters per second. And it flew right over the top of me. So, yeah, we're doing all right. Like I said, there's something, like I said, it's stuck at that 4%. That's too bad, because that I can't demonstrate some of the other things that this drone will do. And I noticed, do you see the way it sunk there? That is typical of the Zino, because it doesn't have any downward sensors. As I was turning there, that was one of the famous things that this drone would do. So we are at about 3 meters high right now. Well, let me drop it down a little. And I'm gonna go full forward. We're at 2.5 meters high, and I'm gonna make a right turn, and we should see the drone drop as we turn right. Well, not so much there. Let's bring it back. Let's go the other way, and let's try a left turn and see if it, or excuse me, a left turn, my other left. It's doing just fine now. It was sure sinking before. It's fun watching it pitch forward there. You know, it's only flying at 8 meters per second, which is a fairly low speed drone-wise. You know, modern drones, even your Mavic Mini will fly a lot faster than that. But I remember at the time it didn't. I'm watching it sink now as I go forward. Let's see how low it'll go. I picked it up on purpose. It was going down. It was sinking down. Yeah, and I'm watching it drop here. Yeah, it's wanting to land, I think. Yeah, low battery, so it's wanting to land. I'm having to force it up. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back here, and let's see if we can. We'll see if we can get it back. We'll see if we can get it back towards the landing pad. And it's forced landing right now. It's dropping in altitude, so I'm having to force it up. I'm going to see if I can get it back to the pad here. So I don't know how long we flew there, but okay, coming down. Well, we missed the pad, but close enough. Yeah, and it's asking us to stop recording, which is good. We're going to do that. Maybe. Stop recording. There we go. I had to press the button. Okay, let me get everything shut down and we'll do a quick conclusion. Well, shoot, I'm sorry. That is not exactly what I wanted to show you today. I wanted to take this drone out a ways, and I wanted to show you some of the tracking and some of the intelligent flight modes that it has that are remarkable for a 5-year-old drone. And as you can see, I don't know if there's really a problem with that battery or it's just the way the algorithm works in the app for the drone. However, we did get a flight in and we flew for quite a while, and you got to see the video quality. Again, you know, this was back when 4K was a pretty new thing on a drone, let alone a $300 drone. And you know, I haven't looked at the video off the SD card, but it looks pretty good. It's a fairly low bit rate, but it looks pretty decent. And you saw the drone flies great. You know, I mean, I was flying it around and having fun with it there. And it finally did go into that forced landing mode. As you noticed, that battery meter never got, it got down to that 4% and it stayed there. And I just looked at this battery, and it is, yeah, it is my number 3 battery. So it's my newest battery. So I don't know, I might be out of luck. I'll try. I've got the original battery that I had with it, I know is bad. It started going bad and depleting almost immediately. I've got another battery, the second battery that I bought. I'll try charging that up and see if it works. But and I don't even know if you can still buy these batteries or not. I'll look around and see if I can. But you know, that may be, this may become a trophy rather than a drone that I fly if I can't get a decent battery for it. Because you know what? I've had this thing for so long, I do not want to risk crashing it and destroying the drone. I've had so much fun with this drone over the years. So in any case, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out. And if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.